injury in this case. So then you have a loss in blood into the tissue, which causes a shock. And we have to assume that he faints very soon. And we have discussed this with the medicinists, and they say it's only 1 to 2 minutes which are left, and then he will faint. So there is no long distance to walk within 1 to 2 minutes up there if you are shot in the back.
So che sono stati rilevati dei tatuaggi sull'uomo di Similaun. Volevo sapere se è stata fatta una lettura e di che tipo di questi tatuaggi.
No, I don't have interpreted these as part of medicinists and anthropologists, and they have recognized that these tattoos, first, they are quite simply made. They are made by just a small cut in the skin, and then fat and ash was placed into this tiny little wound, and all these areas where we have found the tattoos, they correspond to points of pressure in acupuncture, and all we know is that where he had the tattoos, he had skeleton abnormalities because they were strongly used in this, they were abused in this sense. So most probably he felt pain in this area, and therefore they made this application, and this is just a simple way to do so. I just attack, or not attack is not the right word, I just want to stress a little bit the immune system of a person, and if I have pain in certain areas, I make an additional injury there, so that the immune system is concentrated on this part of the body. And this causes then a quicker healing in this case. So this is the explanation I was given.
Una domanda, volevo sapere se erano state fatte delle analisi del DNA proprio per sapere se era di origine indoeuropea e anche se aveva fatto degli studi sull'ascia di Ötzi.
The thing is, there were DNA analysis. This is a little bit complicated because we have a very heavy fragmentation of the DNA. All we can say is that he belonged to a circumalpine population and that he was a European already. This is what we can say up to now. Concerning where has been the X made, this is what we would like to try to answer. To answer where was the X really casted. This is part of my research program. I'm coordinating with 75 researchers, where we have archaeologists and archaeometallurgists as well as petrologists in this case, because we want to trace a fingerprint of all the ore deposits geochemically as well by isotopes, that we can first trace where the ore was processed and to where the ore products were traded, and on the other hand, the opposite way, if I find a copper product, to trace from which ore deposit this comes. We only started, this is a project for 10 years and it will really last for other 7 years to have a complete overview of this isotopic fingerprints and geochemistry of all the copper deposits we have here in the Alps, and therefore at the moment I'm not able to answer these questions where the ore at least comes from the X-plate was made.
Volevo sapere, visto che il corpo è rimasto lì inerme e stava dissanguando, come mai non è stato attaccato dagli animali?
The thing is, being attacked by animals implies the visibility of the body, so that the body is seen. If the body is up there in spring, we have there, due to the geomorphological situation, always snow, because it's on the loaf side of this crest, and we have predominating winds from the south, so we always have a deposition in this northern part with snow. And if you are up there in June, May or June at that time, you have this spring snow soaked wet, and this is right precisely the environment we need to understand how he desiccated or how he became preserved. And according to this, we can assume that he was embedded in this spring snow and was not visible for predators at that time. So there is an additional question concerning this about what about birds or midges or other things, beetles. The fact is, as long as submerged in ice water situations, there is no chance. If it becomes exposed to the air, it runs that quickly that you have an extreme windy situation up there. High winds and high wind speeds are not favorable for insects in this case. You know this because insect pollination in the Alps for flowers is a quite difficult task. So we have high wind speeds, so we have to assume no beetles and no flies up there. And the second thing is, if I have then their wind up there, it's immediately desiccated within 8 to 12 hours that he gets a skin so that a fly larvae cannot eat that anymore. And therefore we have no destruction by any predators.
Ringraziamo il professor Högel.
Thank you.
Per la chiarezza, per la qualità, la raffinatezza delle ricerche. Ötzi è una miniera a sua volta, mi sarebbe piaciuto, e lo farò separatamente, chiedergli in che direzione vanno le analisi per quanto riguarda il rapporto tra ambiente e il suo equipaggiamento, i suoi reperti, se c'è ancora qualcosa da scoprire. Tuttavia sono convinto che il futuro ci rivelerà ulteriori aspetti anche per il progresso tecnologico che le metodologie stanno raffinando. Quindi grazie per la vostra partecipazione, grazie ancora professor Högel e arrivederci.
Thank you very much.